welcome to today's video. This is a B1 level lesson. Today we're going to be talking about using will and might in order to make predictions. So the future will be different. Technology is changing the way we live and work. So look at these statements and see if you agree with them. In 2050, there will be a robot in every home. In the future, we won't drive our own cars. Driverless cars are coming soon. People will live for 120 years or longer. Humans will finally start to live on Mars. And artificial intelligence, or AI, will replace doctors, teachers, and other professions. So artificial intelligence is changing our lives. So do you think AI will replace these jobs? And which jobs will disappear and which ones won't? So do you think AI could replace a taxi driver, farmer, musician, painter, or factory worker? All right, so we're going to read an article about the future of work, and this is a short introduction to the article. So artificial intelligence and machine automation will have a considerable impact on workplaces in the future. Which industries will see the biggest changes, and are there any which will not be affected? So just take a guess. Which industries do you think the author will write about? And which industries have already changed a lot because of AI and machine automation? So now we're going to read the text and answer the questions. You can pause the video and read on your own, or you can follow along as I read. Manufacturing is one area in which dramatic changes have already taken place. Factories have replaced some workers with robots, and many believe this trend will continue. In the future, robots might not take over completely, but they are often faster and cheaper. There is no doubt that the number of industrial robots will increase a lot over the coming years. So we use will to make predictions about the future. So we will and might to make predictions about the future. So what is the author sure about, and what is the author not so sure about? So here, this one they're not quite sure about, might not take over completely. But here he's sure about the number of industrial robots will increase a lot over the coming years. All right, so we use will and might to make predictions about the future. So if you're 100% sure, you can use will. So I will pass my exam. If you're 100% sure that something will not happen, I won't pass my exam. And here, might and might not. I might pass my exam, I might not. So I'm not so sure, and I'm sure. All right, so now we're going to read the author's predictions about transportation and answer the questions. Transportation will also change significantly. Fully autonomous cars will soon become a common sight on our roads. Research suggests that they will be safer and more efficient, but it might take some time for people to get used to them. Professional drivers, like taxi drivers, bus drivers, or truck drivers, might soon be in danger of losing their jobs, and manual driving might even become illegal. So do you think there will be driverless cars soon? In 20 years, will there be human taxi drivers? And do you think that some drivers might lose their jobs because of AI? All right, so we're going to talk a little bit more about will and might. We use will when we are certain or 100% sure. We use might when we are uncertain, maybe 25% sure. So he will be a doctor, he will not be a doctor. And then the contracted form, he'll be a doctor, he won't be a doctor. And then might doesn't have a contracted form. She might win the race, she might not win the race. So we often use we often introduce predictions with some other expressions like I think it will snow tomorrow morning. She thinks he might already be at home. They don't think we'll arrive at the station by 11:30 a.m. And then I'm sure and I'm not sure are used with will. I'm sure Tom will be a great musician. My mother isn't sure she will come to dinner tomorrow. Now, might not does have a contracted form, mightn't, but mightn't isn't common in North American English. It might be used in British English, I'm not sure, but you will almost never hear that in American English. Okay, so what will the future bring? And read these statements, and do you agree or disagree? So here's an example. In the future, everyone will speak English. And the person thinks, I don't think everyone will speak English. People will continue to speak other languages. So that comes probably between the might not and won't. Humans will travel in drones. What do you think? Do you think it will happen, might not happen, or won't happen? Children won't go to school. They will learn online. Most people will work from home. Well, that already kind of came to pass with COVID. So I would say this one is probably between closer to it will happen. And everyone will earn the same amount of money. All right, computers and AI have already changed how we learn. As far as education is concerned, artificial intelligence will start to become an important part of many classrooms, but it won't replace teachers. Enthusiasts believe that it will help teachers to do their jobs more efficiently, since AI teaching assistants will carry out many repetitive tasks. Using AI in the classroom might also enable students to receive more individual attention. So, what technology do you use to learn English? Do computers already help you to learn better and faster? And will human teachers disappear? And then perhaps some jobs will not change. Experts predict that jobs which involve creativity or building personal relationships will be more resistant to change. Artists, musicians, and nurses might not need to adapt in the near future, but after that, anything is possible. So, do you think that will AI replace all jobs? And do you think AI will paint pictures or create other forms of art? We're already seeing that a little bit online, people creating artwork through using AI, but may not completely replace artwork made by humans. So, how will the workplace of the future look? So, think about where you work or study. How has it changed from 100 years ago? And what will the workplace be like 100 years from now? All right, so Frank talks about the future. Frank is a professor of mechatronics. He believes that AI will change almost every job. So we're going to complete the sentences so that they agree with Frank's ideas. So first, let's listen.
There is little doubt that all workplaces in the future will be different because of the impact of artificial intelligence and machine automation. In areas such as manufacturing, significant changes have already taken place. Robots can complete a lot of basic tasks, but there are still some jobs which people have to do. In my opinion, the number of robots working in factories will not increase in the future, but we'll start to make use of AI better to make processes more efficient.
All right, so he said the impact of artificial intelligence in areas such as manufacturing, significant changes have already taken place. Robots can complete a lot of basic tasks, and will use AI to create more efficient processes. All right, so now we're going to listen to Frank talk about the future of transportation and fill in the blanks.
There will also be some changes in transportation. Autonomous cars might start to appear on our roads in the next few years, but people won't rush to buy them. Manual cars will continue to be a common sight. Taxi drivers won't have to look for new jobs anytime soon. I think the biggest changes will be things like the use of AI to eliminate traffic jams.
All right, we're going to listen to the end of the recording and then, according to Frank, decide if these statements are true or false.
We're already seeing technology used extensively in our classrooms. I think the need for teachers will decrease as the technology becomes more advanced. We might need teachers for the next 10 years or so, but after that, I think technology will take over and teachers will become unnecessary. I think it's inevitable. People say that some jobs will not change much, but look around you. There are already computers that can paint pictures or write symphonies. I think it's safe to say that AI and machine automation will affect every profession within our lifetimes, with no exceptions.
All right, so the number of teachers will decrease as the technology becomes more advanced, according to Frank. That is true. Eventually, human teachers won't be needed anymore. He believes that that's true. Computers won't paint pictures or write music. That is false, according to Frank. And artificial intelligence won't affect every profession. That's false, according to Frank. All right, so we've already read this text. So listen again and compare the text and Frank's ideas. So what does Frank say about teachers and education, and what does Frank say about creative jobs?
We're already seeing technology used extensively in our classrooms. I think the need for teachers will decrease as the technology becomes more advanced. We might need teachers for the next 10 years or so, but after that, I think technology will take over and teachers will become unnecessary. I think it's inevitable. People say that some jobs will not change much, but look around you. There are already computers that can paint pictures or write symphonies. I think it's safe to say that AI and machine automation will affect every profession within our lifetimes, with no exceptions.
All right, so Frank's thoughts really kind of disagree with this text. Frank says that eventually, 10 years or so in the future, that AI will replace teachers eventually, and this text says that they will not. Um, and creative jobs, Frank thinks that AI will also be able to eventually do creative jobs. Um, and here, this text predicts that those professions won't be as likely to change. All right, so now just think about this. You can either answer these questions aloud or you can write your answers. Um, but think about what will change and what won't change. So discuss these ideas. Almost everyone will study computer science. People will work fewer hours each week. And more people won't work for large companies, they will work for themselves. So these are really just your opinions, but it's good practice, to write down your ideas or to speak your ideas. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.